Yes, guys, good evening. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Do some sharing. Check my settings. Check one, check. Oh, yeah, Crystal. Crystal. I tell you, Crystal. Get my glasses on. Glasses on. And I'm going to do some sharing. My computer's bashed in, guys. It needs upgrading. Not upgrading, it needs sorting out. I'm going to get my mate to do it. Veteran Dave. It's his hobby. It's his hobby. So, thank you. Welcome to the show. Unapologetic. Don't think I'm going to apologize. What I want you to do, and even if you know me, is get offended, slightly offended, to major offended. Yeah, that's what anybody who knows me well, you don't know me at all, but you talk about me behind my back and me private life, and you still don't know me, get offended or get ready to get offended. Oh, I can feel it, I can feel that people who know me and think they're all right with me, you're going to be offended. And people have been offended over the last 6 months or so. But, I'm not bothered. I ain't got time for weak people. I haven't got time for people who follow sheep. But I have got time for people who are proactive, who want to do a bit more than just stand outside an hotel and shout. What we have been doing in Oldham since I came down to the hotel, met loads of people that I'd not seen before. Yes, Jackie. When I'd not met people, and I've met loads of nice people, women, fellas, reform voters. Right, I've met reform voters, and I consider them lovely, nice people. I've told them I'm not going to vote reform, but fair enough. And we've gone further by attending meetings, which is council meetings and the police, a PAC meeting, police and community meeting in Denton Lane in South Chatterton with the South Chatterton councillors, and voiced our concerns about issues around the hotel. What else have we also done? We've been to, I think it's 3 police meetings and talked to the police about the issues we have around the area of the hotel. We don't make things up. We've got proven cases that have been spoken about by GMP. We've got evidence of elusive child protection unit catching predators into South Chatterton area. So we've shown them all this. We haven't really had any kind of going forward. We haven't had anything yet off them going forward. The police and that know what we're concerned about. So the other week was the reform meeting. So I went to the reform meeting with our little group made up of different kinds of people. And we pulled them about that hotel and HMOs and voiced our concerns. What I said to Mark Wilkinson, a serving councillor, Lewis Quigg, a serving councillor, and Sandra Ball, said a serving councillor, said there's going to be another Southport and it's going to start in Oldham. That's what I said. Thank you, Northern Ireland. Thank you very much, Alan. Top man. I see Freedom Dad's been really busy with that Glen case. That's interesting. But yeah, so we voiced our concerns. We have had a councillor visit us, which was Abdul Wahid, in the first few weeks of the protest. No other councillor has been down as of yet. And I haven't managed to contact any of the Moston councillors, which this area hotel is next door to. But I plan to get to one of their surgeries and meetings soon. And the Moston councillors, and, I don't care where you're from, what your ethnicity, religion, what your colour is, what everything. If you're not being British and you fail the community, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out. So Moston councillors, Paula Appleby, but they are going to get a visit off me, I'll tell you that. Then we've got Councillor Yasmin Dar, and then Councillor Sharita Mandonagu. And these are Moston Labour councillors. They're the next on the list to visit one of their surgeries, and we're going to be doing that. The old surgeries once a month. We're going to say the same things that we said to Labour. We're going to voice our concerns with the articles and the things we've got issues with HMOs and people in the hotel. I've also emailed, let me just get a quick. I've also emailed, actually, probably better getting it up on my phone. Probably better getting it up on my phone. No messing around us. No fucking standing outside saying derogatory names to people at hotels. We'll go a bit further than that. We're not just going to sit down and let it. We're going to be proactive in what we do, which we have been. Let me see. Sent. So, and it's sent to. It's sent. Oh, just get. That email, and it's sent to Oldham Times, Oldham Chronicle, Manchester Evening News, The Mill, Manchester Gazette, and Not Really Here Media. Hi, my name is John Lawrence, leader of the fully registered political party, National Housing Party, United Kingdom. Since 2022, I have stood to run as a local councillor in the Hollingwood ward of Oldham. May 2026 will be my 5th election. You will be very aware of issues nationally, such as hotels and HMOs housing migrants. I haven't said illegal because they're not illegal. We have dozens of hotels involved across Greater Manchester, including the Victoria Hotel in the South Chatterton area of Oldham. Locals have been protesting since August 23rd, it should be 2025 that. I put 2024, but it's not, it's 2025. I do not recall the media coming to speak to locals or engage in anywhere. We have attended police meetings and meetings with local councillors in South Chatterton, also the reform launch in Failsworth. We know that a predator was caught from the Victoria Hotel, meeting kids online, being here 2 months, 2025. Previous year, 2 caught living out of HMOs in central Chatterton. And then I put the incidents up and I've given links to them. The next incident is less than half a mile from the hotel. We do not know if this is connected to the hotel, and I said that all the way through, but we think it is, and we do think it is now. But at the beginning, I stated that I did not know. But no mention since this attack, and we have brought this up with councillors and police. And the link takes you to a man who got sexually assaulted by 3 other men. GMP article link. The next incident is less than a mile from the hotel. The link is to a girl getting sexually assaulted who was followed from Failsworth tram stop to a place called Nutters Park and then assaulted in Nutters Park. Serious assault, GMP article. Again, we have brought this up with police and councillors several times. And again, we do not know if this is a problem related to the hotel. But again, with no response from anybody, we seem to think it is. Also, we have been told off police about high rates of antisocial behaviour around the area with the Morrison store next to the hotel, one of the hotspots. So it is great to talk about Palestine, Iran, or Israel, or Trump and ICE. None of these things are anything to do with the majority of Oldham and UK citizens. But local Oldham residents who are not far-right thugs or trouble causers are just ignored. We protest 1 till 3 p.m. every Saturday from the 28th of February. I would like some news reported on this subject. Maybe you could come down and talk to us. Thank you, John Lawrence. So I've emailed that to several news channels. Now, you know, who am I? I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody in most people's eyes. But the fact is, I am a somebody. And what my next step will be to go to these offices, if they have offices, to pull them in the street and ask them directly in the street. I'll email the people involved, the editors, separately and try and bring it up. Hopefully, get a bit more contact. Let me see who's in the chat. Good evening, Galloway Rider. Oh, thank you, Alan. Yes, Galloway Raider. But like I said, mate, I'm not biased in any way. I don't give a shit if you're white, black, pink, LGBT, Jewish. You will get called out when you fail the community. I've called out Muslim counsellors. I've called out white counsellors. I've called out LGBT counsellors. I've called out woke counsellors. I'll do it all the time, me. I'll do it all the time, and just nothing's going to stop me. I've called out all sorts of people throughout the government, whether they're white, black, Muslim, Jewish, anybody who fails Britain will get called out. I don't care. There's no blinkers on me for that kind of thing. You fail your community in England, and then you're getting it. You're gonna be called out. I don't want to say getting it, because next thing someone will be reporting it to police and that. But police know me well. I'm productive, not disruptive. I'd rather go to a meeting and talk to them, sit down and talk straight on the issues that I want to talk about. No messing around, no pussyfooting, no making things up. I go with facts, figures, statistics when I go to a meeting. I just don't talk bullshit in meetings. It's simple as, guys. Those who know me well enough will know me. Right, let me see. Well, I'll get to restore in a minute, mate. I will get to restore in a minute. So that's what we're trying to do within Oldham, linked to that hotel and HMOs. We've reported HMOs all across Oldham. They've been reported on. And when I find out whose HMO it is, I go and do a video and say their name and say, if locals report that there's antisocial behaviour, people growing weed grows in residential areas, or there's loitering and shady, you're going to get called out. And we think that the message has got to a couple of these possible HMO owners, and I think they're thinking that they're being responsible. The ones we've talked to are being responsible, and that's what I want, responsibility. Obviously, I don't want anyone housed in an HMO or an hotel who's a migrant, come off the boat, whatever. We don't want that. I don't want that. What I want the HMOs and hotels for is for local community people. Now, I've got to say, Oldham Council use a hotel called the 24/7 Hotel on Manchester Road to house Oldham people until they get proper housing. They've done that. Maybe not on the scale we want, maybe not as good as we want, but they do that in Oldham. But there's another hotel there, housing migrants. They can use that. And that hotel is really good with it's got a really good kitchen and stuff like that. So you can have a few families in there. It won't take much. I'd rather see an homeless woman with 2 kids in a nice, safe place, not full of migrants, full of people from Oldham within that community. Let me see. Oh, greens. Your greens. I haven't got to. Yes, knowledge. Thank you. Especially when it comes to our community here in Great Britain, and don't get me wrong. If there's members of Parliament that don't have British citizenship, they shouldn't be members of Parliament. I don't want members of Parliament shouting for countries abroad. They should be focusing over here. There's a local Pakistani round here. He did a video and he said, he said, he wants Palestine to be free. But right now, British people should be focusing on Britain. Whoever's in Britain, they shouldn't be focusing on things that are abroad. It was against the Ukraine war. It was against against saying anything, and all the talk about Palestine, Venezuela. What he said is that we need it over here more. We do. British citizens need to come first. And nothing that's going on across the world, not this Prince Andrew bullshit, we'll get into that after, is going to help. It's not going to solve Galloway Riders' fuel bill. It's not going to solve Galloway Riders' cost of living. It's not going to solve the bad education that his kids are going through. These things aren't going to solve anything like that over here. And that's what I'm more concerned about, is what's going on here. Our kids being taught properly, schooling, which is dismal in Oldham. Oldham schooling is dismal. Don't let anyone tell you it is. You heard that off me. Expert on Oldham schooling for 10 years solid, and it's crap. And all these things are nothing to do with the majority of British people, nothing to do with Ukraine, nothing to do with Israel and Palestine, nothing to do with Venezuela. You know what I mean? The Prince Andrew thing is just a smokescreen. Everyone's going on about that, yet they're not going on about the cost of living. They're not going on about the collapse in the government. They're not going on about if we've got a good economy over here. All they want to go on about is Prince Andrew. And I'm just like, hang on, let me get my noise up. Let me get my noise up. I just think like, let's get me noise up. Where are you, sheep? There you are. That's what I think a lot of people are doing. You know what I mean? And yes, Prince Andrew's bad. Everyone knows he's a pedo. Everyone knows he went to Epstein's Island. If you didn't know that, then you shouldn't be commenting or anything like that. But did you know? Let's just get something up. Let me just get something up. It really gets up me. Ricker. Imran Khan, ex-Wakefield Member of Parliament. The former MP was found guilty of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy, has been released from prison, jailed for 18 months, right? Now, he's been caught, great, yeah. But when he was under investigation, the council put him on a child safety panel, guys. Let me just see some reaction there. Let me see some reaction in the chat. Let me see any reaction in the chat there. So, while he was under investigation for buggering a boy, he was put on the child safety panel of the council. Are people registering that? There's nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. What I'd want is all them councillors kicked off. Anyone who wanted him on that panel, I want them kicked off. So this is recent. It's not Prince Andrew. It's not years ago. It's not a failed royal. It's somebody who's just been a member of Parliament in Wakefield. So where's the outrage? Why hasn't the people who put him on that panel, and the police knew, the police were doing an investigation on him, and they still put him on a child safety panel, and he buggered a boy. Honestly, selective outrage, and everyone's going on about Prince Andrew. Everyone's going on about Prince Andrew. Now, let's see. Rav's in the chat. Yes, Rav. What? 165 quid? Nick Wilson. Got a number for you to phone. A mate of mine called Mel. I'll pass you a number. She's an energy person. She'd be able to help you out with that. Right, and I'll get that sorted out after I finish the stream, Nick. Yeah, well, actually, I'll do it while I'm doing the stream. That's what I'll do. And I'll give her a shout tomorrow, and she'll be in contact with you, yeah? You've just got, I'll tell her to message you, but then you tell her how you want contact after that, and I will tell her your difficulties, yeah? Just let me get you up. I'm not having that. I'm not having that, right. Right, I'm messaging you. Yeah, we'll get to restore in a minute. I'll get to restore in a minute. Message you, Nick. Done it. I messaged you. I've messaged you, Nick. Give an exact, Jackie. Give an example. You might be talking to someone in chat. So yeah, Denton. We'll get on to Denton and Gorton by-election. But yeah, selective outrage. You know what I mean? Yes, Prince Andrew. Everyone knows about Prince Andrew. It doesn't have to be on TikTok and everyone talking about him. He's one like crazy royal. You know what I mean? He's messed up. Everyone knows he's messed up. Let's focus on things over here. Let's focus on government things. Anyway, let's get to Restore. So Restore is Rupert Law's part. And I like Rupert. He's brutally honest. I like Rupert. And he's not afraid of calling him out. But one thing I've said from the start, and our party, is one of the things about reform is cancel culture. And Rupert was in reform. They didn't like the stuff he said, and they ousted him. But they didn't just oust him, they set him up. Just like Donald Trump's been set up, they set Rupert Law up. And I'm totally against that, me. I'm totally against this cancel culture thing. I've had it tried off me. I've had 2 bank accounts shut down before Nigel Farage got his shut down. I've been, my job and my livelihood has been threatened several times through speaking out. I've had counter-terrorism take me in and give me a profiling. You know, so, you know, I've been through all this, right, before Nigel Farage got his bank account shut down. There were no mainstream media for me, and all the rest of the people who've had bank accounts shut down. I'm not the only one. I know thousands of hundreds, if not thousands of people who've had the bank accounts shut down for saying something. And I don't like the way they treated Rupert Law. If anyone thinks that's all right, that they can lie, set him up, get armed police to go to his house because they want him out of the party and think he's too extreme, is so bad for me. If I didn't have a political party, if I wasn't already standing under my party banner, I'd join Restore in an heartbeat. And I'd only join it because the way they've treated Rupert Law, that's what I would do. I'd join it in an heartbeat, the way they've treated him. And I'm against that. And I speak out against these kind of things all the time, Galloway. I really do. It winds me up. And I'll give you a little brief, but somebody I know, and she's a woman, as they've contacted her place of employment to like get her sacked because she's, she protests or something like that. And this is a woman, this, like, over about 50. That's what they're doing to a woman. She's, she's not aggressive. She don't shout and scream at anyone. She don't swear. She don't break into things. She don't smash things up. She don't throw things. She don't beat people over the head with sticks and that like the lefties do. And she's been targeted. So they only target the weak. You know what I mean? That's what they do. But Nigel Farage is the same as the left. He goes on about being called the R word, but then he calls that word to other people. We just don't believe it. He gets called the R word, but he calls everyone else the R word. He called everyone in UKIP the R word when they started going on about grooming gangs, yeah? And he never spoke hardly about grooming gangs when he was in UKIP. He didn't. If you could show me the evidence where he has, he didn't. And then all of a sudden, oh, this one winds me up, this. All of a sudden, if you're going to get offended, please get offended. I want you to be. All of a sudden...
Okay.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, please do.
I find it quite, overwhelming as well that every single one of these medias has said something about a comment that was made by Sarah, which is understandable, absolutely fine. Yet it's taken medias decades to recognise grooming gangs that are coming over and raping our children because they're white. That is also racially motivated and it is racist.
100%. 100%. Gosh. That's very strong.
I hate that clip. You know why? Because I know the girl, Ellie. Oh. And, Nigel Farage would not have stood next to someone, let's say 6 years ago, sat next to one and said 100%, 100%. He jumps on the bandwagon. There were people talking about... there was black people, Muslim people, other white people talking about gang rape before he did. You know what I mean? And he knew when the time comes, he jumps on the bandwagon. And that's what he'd done with that gang rape thing. No one's going to tell me any different. Honestly, these GB News and Reform people, I'm just not into them, guys. I'm just not into them. That's what he's done. And when he left UKIP and they started to talk about it, like, say, when Batten were in, so let's say about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever, he called them all the R word. And then he gets he cried, oh, they're calling me racist. That's what he's like all the time, honestly. You bloody wet wipe. Honestly, let's just get that up. Let's just get it. Let's just get something up for Nigel. Come on, where's my noise? Why are you not playing? Oh, get the volume up. Bah. That's for all the Nigel Farage followers. That's what for followers. And I don't say it lightly, guys. I know Ellie. I know Ellie well. I know her dad, public speaker. Ellie spoke. Met him dozen of times at least from Cumbria. And I think highly of Ian, her dad, and I think highly of Ellie through what they've been through. Now they've had to fight for a case and stuff like that. She got set up. She was going to get charged with blackmail like Ellie Williams. She was going to get charged, and then it stopped. It didn't have any evidence, and then it's all come to light. But it was going to get covered up, guys. It was going to get covered up. That's why I do not trust the Ellie Williams case. No matter what she said, I don't trust it 100% because they did it to Ellie Reynolds. They tried it on Ellie Reynolds at the same time. If anybody doubts me, you can easily look up online about Ellie Reynolds' case. You can easily look up, showing you the video. That's what I think of Farage. He's a jumper on the bandwagon. And that tells me that he's more establishment than he isn't. So he's just a fake. What did he call it? He's a fake. He's a fake idol. He's just a fake, and I can't stand that kind of thing. I've talked about G gangs. I've been to more than a dozen court cases. Probably talked to hundreds of people affected by it: victims, survivors, mothers, dads, brothers. I've talked to all these kind of people. And before I was really politically active, I had a bit of, I'll tell you what it was. Before I was politically active, 5 of us went to support one guy in Sheffield, and we got threatened with arrest. And his daughter had been groomed, but she'd not been assaulted or anything like that, but she's in the process of being groomed. And we got threatened with arrest in 2009. And I've never looked back. I've never looked back, guys. I've never looked back. We got threatened with arrest, bringing it to some police station in Sheffield. I forget what it's called. And we got threatened with arrest because we had evidence and proof and wanted the police to start doing stuff. They're so lucky at that time that we didn't go around there and sort it out ourselves physically. And that's a kind of mindset I had, like in 2009. So how I felt angry, just ignored. Let me get to the chat. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I've got to. It's unapologetic night tonight, and so I'm not going to apologize to anyone, but I want people to wake up, and you're getting strong feelings, and I just hope it's positive on you going forward. I really do, and everyone else in the chat. Some people will feel offended. I have offended loads of people who I thought I knew, but you know, I'm not arsed. There's no time for prisoners now. I don't want to play dirty, but I'm certainly not going to let certain things put me down. I'm going to run in local elections, and I'm getting that local council seat. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting that local positive. I'm going to get that local council seat eventually. Might take me 10 years, but I will get that council seat. But yeah, so I don't like the way they treated Rupert Law. They got armed police going. Let's see what he says on X. Rupert. I just think this is so like open not here and like kind of thing. It really is. I'm just not on for it, me. I'm just not on for it. They're coming up with them new councillors restore Britain, I tell you. He should easily take over Yarmouth area, whatever constituency that is. He'll definitely take over that. Right, come on, I want. All right, yeah, so here it is. Let's get it on. Let's get it on screen. We'll get it on screen. Let's get it on screen. Here is a footage of armed police raiding my home late on a Friday night, thanks to Zia Youssef's lies. Now Farage's choice to be Home Secretary. All supported by Reform leadership, supported by Farage. On the 14th of March, 21:30, armed police arrived at my home and unannounced 3 vehicles with 4 armed officers. I am a farmer. I own guns, all entirely legal and properly. The previous day, I had arranged with the police to voluntarily give up my guns because of Yusuf's lies. I was not impressed then to have armed police suddenly arrive on my doorstep late at night. The officers stayed until 23:38. They confiscated my guns and left. It took so much time as I have a large collection, so a wheelbarrow was required. Of course, everything was dropped and I got my guns back. Yusuf's lies put my family through this ordeal, supported every way by the Reform leadership. Today, we find out it all happened because Farage didn't like my comments on mass deporting foreign rapists. The day he announces Yusuf as his potential Home Secretary to lead the police. If he did it to me, he'll do it to you. This man is not fit to lead the Home Office. None of them are fit in government. And I 100% agree. I 100% agree, guys. I do. I can't say how much that I agree with that. I just really do, and I'm just not having it. I'm not having people treated like that. So that's what. Remember what I said. Farage called everyone in UKIP racist. Then he don't like being called racist, and when he gets called it, and he calls everyone racist. Called Tommy Robinson. Everyone's called racist to him. Oh, I hate that word. And then he does he does a lefty trick and uses Zia Yusuf to get rid of Rupert Law. Rupert the bear. Everyone sang his name. Oh, Rupert the bear. Everyone sang his name, except for Reform. Do 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 do. Not Reform. Do 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 do. Honestly, you just couldn't make it up, guys. Well, you could. You could make it up better than that. Rupert the bear. Everyone said his name. I did actually play a video about that when he left Reform, if I remember correctly. Right, come on, get me back on stage. I want bigger than that. Right, let me get full up. There I go. So yeah, I just can't get over it, guys. I really can't get over it and what's going on. But again, Reform are a means to an end. They're going to take lots of votes, going to take lots of seats, they're going to really give the political establishment a good shafting. And it'll break up politics, then more people will start voting differently. What we've got to think about, I know everyone goes on about the 2-party system and that and splitting the vote, but it's not really about that. If you look at it, if we look at getting more, if like say Reform, Labour, Tory, Restore and Advance, let's say they all had like 100 odd MPs, they have to work together. And what that would mean is that they start taking on other people's policies. And what did Labour Party do under Keir Starmer? They started to take on some of like parts of Reform policies and juggling them around because they see how Reform is a threat. They see the kind of things that people are following on them. And you heard Starmer, I'm going to get tough on immigration. And that's only because like Reform was saying it and everyone else. So they've done. So if we mix politics up like that, it's going to be better for us in the long run. We won't get that one-party dominance where like socialism can come in. If Labour Party now had like lead a government for the next 15 years, we'd be socialists at the end of that. We would 15, 20 years, we'd be socialists. But the more we put in to all these groups and people standing up and voting different, I'm all for it, mate. If you're going to vote Advance, you're going to vote Advance. If you're going to vote reform, you're going to do reform. If you're going to vote restore, you're going to vote restore. I'm not going to tell you not to. Obviously, I'd love everyone to vote for me. If I could have a vote now for me to be a member of parliament and everyone in England could vote, I'd want you all to vote for me. But I'm a local person, and I'm not going to shout or scream or fall out with you if you vote for someone else. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to tell you is please vote for someone who's doing something. I found out the 2 weeks ago that they parachuted in a bit of a councillor, ex-councillor, Tory councillor called Robert Barnes into my seat in Hollingwood as a reform candidate. And he's not done nothing. He's not done nothing in that area. I'm not a councillor, and I've done more than him. I've done more than most of the councillors on sort of like my level. Even before I was a councillor, I'm going to meetings at the council. I'm engaging with the police. I'm going to local community meetings all the time before I was a councillor. I didn't just like, I'm running as a councillor, get me in and I'll do the job. I did the job before before I'm a councillor. I've supported people to get housing. I've looked after the homeless. I'm filling forms in for homeless. What happens now? An homeless person, if he sees me, Weatherspoon, starts talking to me, John, can you help me out? I can guide you here, I can guide you there. Just the other week, got one of my mates down, started filling in his housing forms, and he's not well. And he just, John, thank you for taking the time. He came to me house and I filled his forms in. We've started contact with the council. We're pushing things. We've got all his ID and all that sorted out. I've emailed the council for him and stuff like that. I do that. He's not a Hollingwood resident, somebody I've known for a lot of my life, but I wanted to help him, so I've done that already. You don't have to wait for me to be a councillor before I'll do something. I'm already doing that now. And obviously, let me just see. Sorry, the chat's like it's not the chat, it's my bloody screen. I might have to look on get YouTube up on my phone and just check the chat. Oh. Becco King, not as of moment, mate. I've got my own party. Not as moment. We've got another like probably 2 years we're going to do in the party. And I started it up, and we put our own money in to start it up, and I even written the constitution, so there's no way I'm leaving yet. But yeah, you're right, Becco King. I would be an asset for any political party running. I'd be an asset. I'm very motivated. I'm very confident of getting a local council seat. I'm not saying I tore the line. I'm truthful and honest. I don't lie about articles. I don't say someone's done something if they haven't done it. And I look at things like I was reporting on HMOs in 2021, guys. 2020. No one said anything hardly about them then. A lot more people are saying it now. Also, with our little group at the Victoria Hotel, we didn't just go to these meetings. We printed off 2,500 leaflets. Let me get you one. Oh, wait, I've got a PDF of it in here somewhere. I think I have. He's a number one. He's a number one. Oh no, that's an old copy. That. Oh shit, where's my new copy? Right, can't find it on there. Let me 1 minute, guys. Let me just. So one of the first things I suggested when I got everyone together and we got a bit of a regular crew, so let's do some flyers and post them out. So we have done that. So 80 quid, 2,500 flyers, A5 size, and it's community engagement notice. Let me just tell you what it says. Keeping our community safe the right way. Victoria Hotel, Ollingwood Avenue, Chadderton address. Holiday Inn, Oldham Road, Newton Heath. Bordering the wards of Moston, Failsworth West, Ollingwood, Chadderton, and Miles Platten and Newton Heath. Recent documented incidents in the area. Sexual assault against a man, sexual assault against a girl, arrest linked to child sexual exploitation connected to wider safeguarding operations, including links to some HMOs, because we've got 2 out of an HMO and we've got 1 out of the hotel. Persistent antisocial behaviour, intimidation, disturbances, ongoing community concerns related to, and it's got a picture of the hotel at the bottom, a couple of mine. On the other side, we've got our little Oldham Patriot symbol there, National Housing. National Housing Party, local people first, is one of our registered political party descriptions. And on the back is all the emergency contact detail for police. Stay alerted in affected areas. Support vulnerable neighbours. Report repeated issues linked to HMOs. Help keep children and young people safe. HMO's key concerns: high tenancy turnover, late night noise disturbances, increased foot traffic, antisocial behaviour. Then we put the contact details up. Emails for South Chadderton, Moston, Failsworth, Miles Platten, Newton Heath, Greater Manchester Police, South Chadderton team, and Oldham Council planning objections at the bottom. And then it says, if it happens in one area, it'll happen in yours. Get involved. Victoria Hotel every Saturday, 1 till 3 p.m. So we've got 2,500 of them. Right, I will. Oh, EW, thank you for that. I'll watch out for that. Let me just... Yes, Mark. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Just let me watch out for that. I'll just tap that down. Walsall. CSC. Right, I've written it down. Thank you, EW. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. So we've had 2,500 of these printed, and I think we've got about maybe about 500 left. That's about it. I've delivered them to areas around an HMO in Ollingwood. We've done them in the area where the man was sexually assaulted. And some of the area near the hotel has been leafleted. I'm going to go to Nutters Park next week and deliver some around that area. And then we've got Chadderton left. And we'll probably just, as a little group, go to Chadderton, send to Chadderton, post some, but talk to people, members of the public and stuff like that. So that's good. So that's what we've done. And obviously, we've been to all them police meetings. So if anything does go off and it does kick off, what can they say to us that we haven't been doing nothing to try and warning them? Can they tell us that? Can they turn around to me and say, listen, we're arresting you. You've caused all this. What, by going to public meetings, engaging with the police, emailing the media, having our leaflets delivered? It's my fault. And that's the kind of thing I'm impressing on councillors and the police, and they don't bother me. And you know what? I mean, the other week, Oh, we want to know that the lad who set up the demos, the police had visited his house. It's in his post on Facebook. They visited his house. They haven't come to my house and they haven't contacted me. You know why? Because I've been going there since 2021. 2021, I walked into that hotel, right into reception, and stayed there for an hour talking to all the lads, sat down, talking to all the lads who were there. Talked to loads at the gate in 2021. No police came. No media came. No lefties come. No councillors said anything. So if you think that I'm gonna bend to other people's rules now that people protesting, it's just not gonna work, guys. And I didn't just go in 2021. I went in 2022. I went in 2023. And I went in 2024 before everyone started protesting. I've done many videos on that hotel. I've got videos of me talking to the migrants who were in the hotel. And then I think that I'm going to accept anyone telling me that I can't do things and stuff like that. It's just never going to work. You just couldn't make it up, guys, honestly. Honestly. And that's the kind of attitude I'll show to anyone. And, you know, this is how ignorant people are. I've not once talked about religion and to do with who's in the hotel. I've not really said anything like that. I've talked about the incidents that have happened. I could do. And then someone went past the other day and shouted, there's going to be Sharia law. Who the fucking hell mentioned Sharia law? Yeah, I never said it. I never said anything about Sharia law, but these are the kind of people who are against us and what they say when they're going past. I just think you're weak. If you're a Muslim, you're not a Muslim if that's how hypocritical you are. And that's what you're a lefty, you walk. I said that to anyone. I tell you to your face. I'll try and tell you if you're screaming at me in a car. And I tell the police the same thing, the councillors, anything. Everyone will get that kind of attitude off me because no one said anything when I went there in 2021. But people have got an issue with me going there now. Never going to work, guys. Not with Big John. Thank you, Galloway. Thank you, mate. Right, yeah, and that is a Bristol one, if I'm correct, Mark. Let me just get up. I'll get a little segment going for you. I'll get a little segment on. I'll do a little couple of minute segment on this. There is a flyer somewhere. I'm sure you sent me a flyer. Right, here it is. Here it is. Right, let's get that one. Let's get this up. No, I don't want you. You can go. It is the 7th, isn't it, Mark? That's what you're going on about. I'm sure he is. Right, come on, where are you? Yeah, damn. Right, I've seen it going in then, so it must be somewhere in here. Why has it gone to the bottom? It hasn't. Let me just get it up now. Hold on, bear with me. It's coming. Rupert the bear. Everyone says his name. So, Bristol, guys. 7th of March, 11 a.m. So if you're in the south, down in the southwest, please get to it. It's not far from Wales, either of you in bottom side of Wales. They got attacked the other week doing a march. And, you know, I've been to Bristol, guys. I can tell you I've been to Bristol, and they're not nice people. They're not nice people. They do attack you. Even when, like, you're trying to talk sense, they do attack you. And you know, it's just mad. It's just mad. And I'm not saying I got a bit of a reputation, but a couple of people I know got a bit of a reputation through being in the middle of the protest. So 7th of March, if you're interested, Bristol, 12:15 at the Cenotaph. Should be a good one. The good lot of lads down in Bristol. And as people might know, I've been going to Bristol for 8 years, Justice for Money. We've been to Bristol HMP several times, and we've done outside the courts, and we've done walks through Bristol for Kevin Crehan. So I'm not thinking alien to it or anything. Whether I can get there or not, I don't know. I just don't have the money for a big ticket like that. We'd have to go in a car or something. But 7th of March, Bristol Cenotaph, 11 a.m. Proper good set of lads down there. They are. I've been going for 8 years, so I know, and I've met loads of different, like, patriot type people down there, and they're a good bunch. They really are a good bunch. So I've done a couple of minutes, and I'll cut this out, and then I'll put it up on a short on my feed as soon as possible. Let me just check that is the right one. Oh, yeah, it is, Warren. Well, I'm coming over in next July. Try and do about 3 or 4 days. And I'm sure I'll meet up with, I want to meet up with Freedom Dad. Rags and Jags, I want to meet up with. But I'm going to try and do about 4 or 5 days if I can. The most I've done is 3 nights, but I'm going to try and do 4 or 5 nights. And this time I don't want to be filming too much, because when I go filming, I don't drink or anything like that. And I do enjoy it, but I'd rather go and relax this time, have a drink, not be responsible for doing filming or anything like that. So this is what I'm going to do. And I've been over twice, and that's what I've done, filmed, suit on and all that, Union Jack tie hat on all that goes on, looking plush and good. But yeah, so United Against Extremism. Mark, is that the one you're going? Yeah, I think it's Mark. Mark, is that the one you were talking about? You can come up if you want. The YouTube's got me StreamYard link in it to get on StreamYard. Come up if you want. But yeah, so United Against Extremism, Bristol. Really good patriots down there. They are. I've been going 8 years, so it's not like I'm new to the place. I've been going 8 years. Of course, you'll know that I spend a lot of time at the Bath as well, at the camp there. And me and Joe have supported Justice for Bunny demo every year. Loyal to that, me and Joe are. It'd be unheard of that we didn't go to that demo. We didn't do something. So yeah, United Against Extremism on the 7th. Obviously, there's a big demo in Manchester on Saturday, and I'm not so much taking part as I'm escorting someone down there. And there's a few of the girls on my little team are going, and a young lad called Nathan wants to go. So I'm sort of like being a responsible person Saturday, a very responsible person. So that's what I'm going to do Saturday. But obviously I'll get a few pictures and that. Might bump into a few people. Hopefully I might be able to get a chat with the odd person and stuff. I think Jeremy Corbyn's going, but there should be other high-profile people there. I'd love to meet up with that, like Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn. I would. That'd be class. That would be classy. Big John were right next to them to interviewing them. But you know, I can only wish. It certainly is. It's a bit of a mission, though, for me. I just don't have the money. I'm on universal credit. I don't have any kind of like other income. I beg and borrow most of the time. Like family support me a lot. I just don't have it. And any money we do make like off my YouTube, it goes into my party bank account, because I had to be careful with my monetization, because if I monetized 5 years ago before I was looking after my mum, I'd have been. They did a benefits check. DWP contacted me to look at my bank accounts. They only did that because of the lefties. The lefties have attacked me. They've had 2 of my bank accounts shut down, and 2 different places where I've worked, they tried to get me sacked. You know, and I can just imagine the tales they tell the police. They've put videos up saying I'm threatening people, and I've never threatened anybody. Never threatened anyone with any kind of violence. If I do a threat, it's a promise I'll talk about them online, or I'll call them out online. That's all I do. So, you know, I had to be careful with my finances, you know, and, you know, like I could go out more, start auditing and doing more like videos on the streets, but I'm not going to do it because they'll have me. The lefties will report my ass and get me fingers. So I just don't. I'm pot to piss in, tell you the truth. I really don't. But you know, I try my best to get there. Other people do help me. I've had plenty of lifts at camp. Thank you, Wills. Give me a lift at camp. I've had other people support me. Mark, when I went to the Birmingham for the day, and Mark Mollen came up from London with another lad, and then 2 more from Birmingham came to support me. And I asked for them. I asked for them to come because I was there all day, and I wanted someone like there so that like I can just focus on what I wanted to do, and I know there's someone watching me back. So thank you very much. And I didn't pay anybody. I brought a couple of breakfasts and a couple of brews. That's all, and some water and bits afterwards, but I thanked them, and they're loyal to the core. My best friends, loyal to the core. They are loyal to the core, and I thank them for that. And it's a good day, brilliant day. And when we got to Birmingham, so imagine this: Big John's there. We're in the Weatherspoons in the NEC. And if you know the Weatherspoons in the NEC, it's dead expensive, guys. Like a brew's like £4, and like a breakfast is like a tenner. And we're there, and I had my suit on and all that. I managed to drop my bag off at this holding place for people who are going into events and that. I didn't have a ticket for the event, but he let me put my bag there. And I stood up, and the Weatherspoons is inside the NEC, but like outside of the Weatherspoons, it's inside all tables. Stood up, put my waistcoat straight, put my Union Jack tie on, flicked my Union Jack hat on. We're all nice and clean shaven, just like get him screwed. The last rub down, he even put a bit of oil, but baby oil. Myself got it. And then just from the left side of us, the right side of us, sort of like the other side of the tables, Lee Anderson stood up with 2 others going into the Reform conference. And then when he walked round, he had to walk past me. And I said something, John Lawrence National Housing Party. Hey! Hey! But yeah, and when we went there, obviously I was filming. The lefties were on a demo. So the first thing I did, I went to police and security, told them who I was, gave them one of my party flyers. I'm a registered political party leader. The other guys were there just as my mates and my entourage, or whatever you want to say. And they left us. And we was all right then. They looked after us, didn't mither of us. I wasn't mithering people. I weren't there to shout names at the Reform conference, because that's what the lefties were doing. I weren't there to do that. I was there to talk to them, get a couple of interviews, seen a young lad, seen quite a few people who I know already. Brilliant day. Brilliant day. So that's John. John's not just boring. Don't just go outside the hotel, start screaming and shouting. Don't just go on Facebook, start crying I'm proactive, me. Leaflets, police meetings, council meetings, what I want to do. And if that's what gets me in good stead to end up being a local councillor, then thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we talked about Restore, Rupert, nasty Nigel Farage reform. Yeah, you had parachuted Robert Barnes in, and he come up to me in this reform meeting. Oh, like, are you running? Yeah, oh, the vote's going to be split. And I said to him, but I've ran there for 4 years, and this is my 5th election. I'm not moving, mate. I'm staying where I am. I'm not moving out of the way of anybody. And he's just been parachuted in. So people in Hollingwood, vote reform, you vote Robert Barnes. He hasn't done sod all, guys. He hasn't done sod all. I've certainly done more than him, and I'm not a serving councillor. He's been a councillor before, left under dodgy circumstances or stepped down. And the only way now he can get back in is join reform. So in Hollingwood, if you vote in reform, you vote in Robert Barnes. Robert Barnes hasn't done nothing. I'm not saying I'm the God all and everything. I've done 1,000 times. I've done infinity times more than what Robert Barnes has done, because he's done nothing. He hasn't voiced any opinion on HMOs. He hasn't done anything about rubbish. He hasn't done anything about people being housed. He hasn't helped people with issues they've got with council tax. I'm authorised to speak for several people in Hollingwood. Me with the council. Me, not like Robert Barnes. Me. I speak for several people authorised with authorisation sheets. I speak for them at the council, because they can't use phones, they can't do online things. I'm the voice, and that's several people. Robert Barnes hasn't done anything like that. He hasn't done nothing. And he left on dodgy circumstances, the Tory party. So if you vote reform, you're just voting for the name, and you're not voting for anyone who's done anything in Hollingwood. Right? So that's people in Hollingwood. If you vote in reform, you're voting for someone who hasn't done nothing. Now, if I got in and got that seat, I've done stuff, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't be different. I won't say I wouldn't be the same as reform, but if reform did get in Oldham, I would side on some of the things that he said. If reform got in and said they wanted to do an audit check on Oldham, I would be voting with them. If the Oldham group, which is mainly Pakistani, said they want people arrested for child sexual exploitation, I'd vote for that if they said it. So, that's how it works. It doesn't have to be the majority. You've got to get people on your side with your policies. And there's policies in the Tory party that I like in Oldham. There's policies in reform that I like in Oldham. There's policies in the Oldham group that I like in Oldham. Even some of the Labour stuff they do, I agree with, but the Labour's too corrupt and they need to be brought out. So just get voting. If you're in Hollingwood, your better vote is going for someone who's done something already. And that's John Lawrence, National Housing Party, 5th election, May the 7th, 2026. Right, guys, let me see where I'm up to. I'll try and look at some comments now. Oh yeah, he has. He has been arrested. Yeah, it's not good. Mark, was that the one about the demo? Where's he gone now? Yeah, I'm sure it was the one about the demo. But yeah, so John Lawrence for Hollingwood, May the 7th, 2026. I think I've covered everything. Rupert Law thing. The electioning stuff. Oh, there's one more thing. Let me see how many. I'll give about 10, 15 minutes. You know, like feminism and women are woke. Women are woke. Women are the ultimate victims. Now, it's not because you're women. It's not because it's like Jackie in the chat or Rav in the chat. It's because of things like feminism. If you look into feminism, which has gone down a road that's anti-men, we talked about Arut Shah. She just got men on her mind. She thinks she's anti-men, and there's lots of women in the council who are anti-men. I don't give a shit, me. I'm a man. I'm masculine. What I do, I protect and provide. That's what I do for my family. And that's what I'd expect any man to do. But they don't now. Men are indoctrinated with thinking that they can be women and then feminine, but they can't be because they still have testosterone. They have all them drugs. It messes their minds up. And drugs do mess your mind up. Anyone would know if they've took like things like pre-gab and things like these strong drugs. You can be on them, they can wreck your head. And if you don't come off them properly, they can damage you. And these men are having all sorts of stuff and it's messing their heads up. So they're losing their identity. And then what they're doing, they're throwing the violence out then into the LGBT community and killing each other and all that. You just couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. There's a particular case in Leeds of two girls and a baby. I forget what the baby was called, but the baby was neglected and died. And it was this girl's partner who was another girl. And what LGBT does to you, it makes you selfish and just think about you. That's what it does these days. And trans people, you see it in their eyes. Me. That's all they say. And it messes their heads up. So they've got a folk, like, I believe that, let me see if I can find the thing about the baby. I can't remember what the kid, let me. No, it's not the one. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's in India. That's in India. No, it's not the one. But yeah, women are the ultimate victims. And we've seen that. And we've seen it when Alan Merritt started on me. And Glenn Saffer and all that. Oh, he needs to be cancelled. Well, you're not cancelling me, mate. You're a crook, a thief, a liar, and everything, and a scumbag. But you're not cancelling me. Everybody went against me, and I still fought back. But I don't care, me. There was people who know me well. They never defended me, so they're just a bunch of arseholes. Really, I said this, the wet wipes or whatever you want to say. And yeah, women are the ultimate victims, and it's not your fault though. It's through things like feminism, which has led to this like anti-men thing, and now we've got trans people, and that's even messing everyone's heads even more. And it's not nice because we never used to be like this. We didn't used to be like this. Of course, men have murdered women. We know that. And nobody will accept that we've brought people over who are look at women less in this country, and there's more crimes up. They still got to blame it on a straight white man. You know what I mean? When they've imported child rapists, men who beat women because they're not wearing hijabs and stuff like that. We've invited people over who are into honor violence. Now, honour violence was not a big thing in the UK. There was no law against it, but people just didn't do that. At minimum, it was. But since we started inviting people over, there's been so much honour violence. Young girls getting trafficked and pushed into arranged marriages when they shouldn't do. And we had somebody in the chat earlier on who went through that. And we've took all these people in. And like in Oldham, when you go to a local council meeting in Pakistani community, there ain't no women there. There ain't no women there. When I go to a meeting with my crew, the men are outnumbered, something like 2 to 1 with women. We're out. When I go to a meeting, our little team, there's more women than men. And then women can speak up for themselves. I don't have to speak up for them. They can certainly speak up for themselves and say their own thing. There's more women than men, but it's not like that in Pakistani community in Oldham. It isn't. And if anybody's Muslim, you feel like I'm offending you, well, prove me wrong, because there's hundreds of articles, there's hundreds of pictures I'll show you where there's no women. So I never invited these people over. I never did that. So, but nobody will say that that is one of the reasons why women are lesser over here and women get attacked and there's more violence again. You'll never hear that off the left. Just blame it on the straight white man. Of course, the straight white man, there is more of them in England than there is of the other kinds of men. But half of them are twisted with that trans thing and wokeness. You know what I mean? They're not saying anything about Iran because they support the Muslims there, even though that they've killed lots of people and wiped them out. And even though when we had the Iranian Revolution in the 70s, they ended up kicking out all the people who supported the revolution, who were woke and LGBT. Just couldn't make it up. You come here, that's what we're like in England. That's what some people are like in England. And you know, of course it's nothing to do with us. I'm not interested in it, me. But this is what I see, and this is over here as well. This is over here. I was in Oldham. A guy was there with a sign saying queers for Palestine. I went up to him and said, mate, you're going off the first building in Gaza, the first tallest building, you're going off head first. No, they won't be like that with me, mate. They will. You're just deluded if you think. I've never seen him again, but yeah. Queers for Palestine. Oh, God, honestly, you just couldn't believe it. Yeah, why they in reform, Robert Jenrick and Braverman, they certainly did. I like Suella, just like, I just like her. I just like her. Not that she's a politician. I just like her, how she talks and that, me. I like Braverman. But no, you're right, Bexy. How can they have Robert Jenrick and Braverman who were in government and helped screw us over royally? You know, Braverman and Robert Jenrick, they never shouted that loud for when everyone were ripping off COVID money. You know, you never heard them. Robert Jenrick, stay in. And he got caught twice, 140 miles and 40 miles away from where he was supposed to stay. You just couldn't make it up. And they put these people in reform. Oh, my goodness, my goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. I'm joining QFP as an ally. What's QFP, EW? Am I missing something here? Let me get my chat on. Chat on. Yeah, no, I get it. Most women, not most women aren't anti-men, but we need strong men to lead us and to protect us. And you know what? One of the tragedies is in Rotherham over the scandal and in Newcastle, fathers and sons went down to try and protect the daughter and the sister, and they got arrested. And then the daughter got arrested, and the perpetrators who were gang raping her nothing happened to them. We don't have many men like that. You know, when I'm there with youth, I were in Rochdale once, and a lot of kids come up to us asking what we're doing. And I started talking about child sexual exploitation, and I got to know these kids. And one of them, there was a brother and a sister there. The brother was like 11 and the sister were like 10. And I turned around to him and said, mate, it's your responsibility to look after your sister. You're out with her now. You ain't got no parents here, have you? No. So you're looking after her. If anything happens, you've got to move in and look after her. Can you do that? And he said, yes, I can. And I said to his little sister, can you do that? He said, yes, I can. Oh, Mark's coming in. Right. Let's just. Yes, Mark.
Hello, John. Yeah,
Yes,
I just wanted to pop up here quick.
Yeah, go on.
Well, there's going to be a demo in Bristol on the 7th of...
Oh, shit. Sorry. Go on. Wait. Go on. 7th of March. Carry on.
Yeah, there's a demo in Bristol. Yeah. It's about all of our causes, and it's a protest against Antifa as well.
Yeah, because they're getting nasty.
Yeah, and we're joining up with a load of people from Bristol. Yeah, that's it. They've got loads of people coming, but we need some bodies there, mate. Yeah, I'm going to be travelling down myself. Yeah, we're a few bods, and yeah, we've got people coming in from all over the southwest so far, and some from Liverpool.
Good. I said that. South Wales and the southwest, Bristol, you need to be. Guys in Bath, anywhere around there, Bristol is a place. And, you know, like, I don't say it lightly, guys. I've been going Bristol for 8 years, Justice for Bunny. We've been in HMP Bristol in the reception for an hour every time we go. We've protested outside the courts and the police station, and we've also gone through the town centre and done stuff for the Cenotaph. So get to Bristol, please, guys. Get to Bristol.
Yeah, going Saturday the 7th of March, we're meeting at 10 a.m. at the Cenotaph.
So there you go. It's on screen, guys. It's on screen. Let me just extend that picture, make it a bit bigger. Bristol, 7th of March, 11 a.m., meeting at 10. Between 10 and 11 or whatever at the Cenotaph. And the march will be at 12:15. So bring your flags. And, you know, they do sometimes have a good pull there. So it could be a semi-big demo, this. And if I can get to it, I promise I'll be coming down, but we'll have to see. I promise I'll come down if I can get to it.
Well, John, I'm going down on the 6th and I'm staying at HQ.
Right.
Yeah, I've already sorted it out with them. I'm bringing down some people with me, and yeah, we're going to start HQ, and then we're going to, we're all going to go off to Bristol. Yeah, a load of us.
Right. No worries. I've done that run many a times. I've done that run many a times. Last time we're at Christmas, guys, 27th. Went to HMP Bristol. We're there for about 45 minutes. Kevin's dad were there. He's been coming every year. He always thanks me. He said I'm one of me and Joe, the loyalists to that cause, going. Always thanks us. And he even brought us a bottle of brandy this year. But yeah, 7th of March, guys. And if I can get there, I will. And I'll seriously look at getting something sorted out. Like I said, I'm not a newbie to Bristol by no means. So I'll try and get that sorted out.
All right, then. I'll jump off.
No worries. Thank you, Mark.
I hope you can all turn up. Yeah, if not, try and get as many people to turn up, and you can publicise the march. Yeah, we're marching against extremism.
I will. I'll cut this up. StreamYard should cut it up after me and have the segment on that I had this up. But I'll do that. Yeah. No worries, Mark.
Yeah, I'll see you there if you're going to be there, John. But I'll be staying at HQ until you do come down anyway.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be staying there still till the 16th.
Right, yeah. Right, no worries.
All right, then. I'll jump off. Bid you all good evening, and thanks for your time, John.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
See you later, mate. Bye. So Bristol on the 7th, guys. That's where we're off. Bristol on the 7th. Let me get that. So thank you very so men, honestly, I just couldn't believe it, mate. I can't believe it how things have gone and the way things have gone. And they'll never talk about the fact that we've invited over these people who commit these heinous crimes of killing kids because they won't marry within the kind and stuff. It's just amazing. And the World Health Organization did an article saying that they don't want to ban honor crimes. That they're going to find it hard to ban honor crimes. So what they've said, World Health Organization, I read it last year or something like that, and they're a bit touchy on the subject because they're all like that kind of people who run the WHO. You just couldn't make it up. Anyway, Unapologetic, thank you very much. I'll see you on Tuesday, 8 p.m. We've got a guest on the show. I'll see you next Friday. God bless you all. See you later.